And do my daily tarot reading, but anyways, I want to say, and I'm gonna do a long video on this as well, I ain't got no fucking spiritual protection. It's a motherfucking shame. From my higher self all the way up to my higher self. With this curse I'm finding out, excuse me, trying to get my diction together and everything else, I never stood a fucking chance. Nothing but pure fucking evil, to the point where I gotta depend upon a tulpa that I had to fucking create. Because they killed my child spirit guide in order for me to be able to not just survive. You know, from what I'm learning in the spirit plane, my higher to higher selves nearly got paid, you know, just enough to look the other fucking way while, you know, all of this shit was happening. You know, from what I understand, it was a bunch of fucking wetbacks. I'm gonna say something right now. I avoid them fucking people like the plague for a reason. Those motherfuckers, all of their creator gods, with the exception of Quetzalcoatl, who was a reptilian, who they would eat human flesh with. You can see pictures and depictions of it. I'll show you some. Fuckers, straight up demonic motherfuckers, and they're the ones that put that curse on me. But anyways, with that being said, all their creator gods, Huitzilopochtli, you know, which is one of the entities I'm fighting right now, they all derive from Benares, and they're all evil spirits. With that being said, that's why I don't deal with them fucking people. You know, I'm going to go ahead and say this as a forward. 6,000 hertz frequency, which is a frequency that only works on evil entities, only works on them as a people. So let that sink in about the wetback. That's why I don't fuck with them. I don't deal with those people. I don't even open myself up to them. To me, to open myself up to them is analogous to opening yourself up to an invitation to evil spirits, which is where they come from, where they derive. That's why I don't deal with them. Now, with that being said, because this is a motherfucking shame. The motherfuckers went in, fucked up my bloodline, my spiritual DNA. That's why I don't deal with wetbacks. That's why you see this right here and right here. I got this off of, I think, Amazon, and this off of Etsy. Spiritual protection. MAGA cap, and this right here. That's why there's a video of a man praying to Trump for protection. Not saying worship Trump, but because I don't worship him. I know the spiritual truth about what's going on and everything else. But with that being said, I know the spiritual truth about the wetback, the bean. I don't fuck with them people, because this is some evil fucking shit. You know, it's just knowing what I know about this curse. It's like the congelation of the perfect storm, a conflagration. Just, I never stood a fucking chance. And, you know, I'll never forget, right before this shit commenced, hopefully they don't fuck with my audio again, it was, I hate to say it, man, and that was my boy way back in the day, Sainton. You know, he tried to do something in the middle of the fucking night where he tried to separate me from that timeline where I died on August 22nd, 2022. With that being said, I had Zeus, who was one of the entities acting as an accomplice in all this shit, you know, along with, this is another one. I had a hard time believing it as well, Baron Samedi. That's why at the start of this curse, he came to me in the astral plane talking about, you got a major undertaking ahead of you. And basically, what he wanted me to grapple with was not one major spiritual fucking battle, but instead, fucking schizophrenia. This fucking red bag. Shit away from me. Something from within. And that's a motherfucking shame. That's a motherfucking shame. And, you know, I've been stuck getting fucking royally astral bodied harvested. And it's a motherfucking shame. It's just, you know, to the point where there's times where I don't even feel like my motherfucking self. And, you know, I got thrown into this timeline, whereas somebody else done took that shit over and got all my fucking blessings and everything being funneled. You know, I did something in the middle of the night where I posted a video, and these evil fucking people, I believe they're all under the same fucking thing. You know, Satan he's the representation of your darkness. As a matter of fact, he's right next to Zenu, or Yah. I believe the real name for Zenu is Yah. He has a big head and everything. The Nation of Islam talked about Yaka, who also had a big head, and big-headed black aliens. So with that being said, you know, years ago, I actually got visited by Yah. Now I'll show you the article. With that being said, this is some look, I'm just going to go ahead and say it like this. This is some evil fucking shit to do to a person, whereas they have no fucking backing. And when you try to combat this shit, you end up looking fucking schizophrenic. You know, from what I'm understanding, especially with the use of frequency, this is something that's extremely easy to get out of, you know, to get rid of. Something extremely easy to remove. And it shouldn't be this sadistically hard. With that being said, man, you know, I'm just going to fucking put it out there on Front Street, because I was crying one day, man. When I wrote that article that I recently wrote, and I'll go ahead and put it down below, I was fucking crying thinking about just the iniquity and the unfairness and what I fucking lost due to just having way too many evil ass fucking entities without having my best interest at heart, you know, just coming up against me and not really trying to work with me and trying to silence my motherfucking voice like I feel like they're doing right now. You know, just too much evil ass shit. And all I had is that child spirit guide who was the most loyal and the most helpful. You know, the rest of them, including, I hate to say it, the entity attachment of Baron Samedi, the rest of them wanted to keep me stuck in fucking hell realms in my consciousness as well as in reality, especially that Alex Nascimento entity. I actually saw him coming in 2022, right before the curse hit. Evil motherfucker, just pure fucking evil. And he would go around like he did, I hate to say it, what they said at the workday shop motherfuckers, but then they're a whole other fucking deal too. I understand that their higher self, her name is Maria Santana, the minute she saw I was black in the physical plane, I present as white in the astral plane, she wanted to fucking attack me. After that motherfucker went over there, that Alex Nascimento fucker went over there, fucking with them damn people, because they foresaw that they would start helping me out. But anyways, you know, I'm learning that during the fucking duration of this curse, I had no fucking entities on my side. Like, if I was going after somebody like on a PCH, like one of them fucking wetbags Sabinas, who would rape or sexually assault me, he wouldn't do shit to them. And as a matter of fact, give them my timelines and my blessings. But then turn around and help motherfuckers, curse motherfuckers who would help me out, try to look out for me. You know, it kind of reminds me of a young lady I did a tarot reading for. I'm not really sure if I should, show you. I'm not going to show you the picture, but just the email. I fixed an entity attachment upon her to fuck her up as well. So with that being said, it's like I'm just being surrounded by a cloud of negative entities that want to keep me from knowing the truth and keep me from resolving this issue, this spiritual issue that I face. And I remember going back to the beginning of the curse, being told and shown that it was Alex Nascimento, along with, and this disappoints me a lot because I was a big fucking follower, and to some degree I still am, of Satan. And I don't want to fucking believe it. But supposedly he was one of the entities that pulled me out. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I didn't want to believe it. But weird, I hate to say it, weird shit started happening the minute I say that. So with that being said, I'm trying to resolve the issue so I can get my shit back, get my life on track, because it's just major unfairness dealing with these fucking entities and just clouded fucking judgment as well, and just not knowing what the fuck is going on. I knew they had to be under something. I don't want to say seen as evil, though, but I knew they had to be under something that was, I was shown evil and maybe controlling that. I got the demiurge. I got, it's just like with Kanye West and the soul swapping, consent by God. I'm trying to figure out how the spiritual process works, but I think there has to be consent on so many levels. It's analogous to how a lot of people talk about Lena Morgana, who was murdered by Lady Gaga. And Lady Gaga made a deal with Satan to protect her blessings. I hate to say it, but a while back I was working with Beelzebub. He actually was one of the very good entities, along with Clawneck, to put me back together. And I just don't know how I guess these people and their roach attachments are a lot more sadistic and stronger, and they just came along. It's a long motherfucking story, and I'm going to do a video on it, including in my time in jail. I may have gotten tricked by these roach attachments. There's a lot going on. That's why I don't want to make a judgment about these entities. It's the same thing with, Baron Samedi. I would hear Baron Samedi involved, he involved. But I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it was the real one. I should have done this at the beginning of the curse. Always consent, the real ones, the actual entity itself, before jumping to conclusions. With that being said, hey, how you doing, sir? I should have. With that being said, they say that there's an ecosystem. It's like I've been saying, when you die, you go into your consciousness or the consciousness of your ancestors. And your body, from what I've seen in the astral plane, is like a machine. So it has to be maintained. And you have your ancestors. I had my Egyptian and my black ancestors, for instance, recently come through this week. And I can't tell you how much spiritual protection I felt from that. And it was beautiful. The higher selves are right in. After they got done a number by Baron Samedi, when he came in, he was the first one to sacrifice me, but nowhere near like these motherfucking wetbags. These wetbags are merciless. They, like I say, it goes back to their creator guys. They're pure evil motherfuckers. Pure evil. That's why I don't deal with them people. And with that being said, he was the first one to put me as a sacrifice, but he ran through them fucking white women like it's no fucking problem. And the only one to actually go back, and I talked about her in my blog as well, is a spirit guide by the name of Eden. And she was biracial. You know, all your higher selves, I believe, were once, you know, living people. But she was the only one to actually go back and try to get my shit. And the white ones were like, fuck it. You know, fuck it, motherfucker. And that's when the wetbacks came and they made a deal with them and totally fucked up my shit and got high off the hog off of what were supposed to be my blessings, which were being doled out by these beaners, wetbacks, to other fucking people. Without my fucking consent. You know, I even saw their contracts, their soul contracts, and basically their soul contracts state that if you tear up their soul contract, which is made to be totally fucking one-sided, one-dimensional, you know, currying favor towards them, you can't get your shit back. You know, I had a very powerful spiritualist, for instance, in the spirit plane a while back, actually come and try to sort it out with them soul contracts. And he was like, what kind of fucking shit? Like, how is this shit fucking binding? You know, like I said, I kept trying to figure out how could I be under such intense fucking curses and not be able to escape every single day. You know, it gets a little better. My spirit guide would come in, try to smooth shit out, woo-da-woo-da-woo, and then everything would just go back to being fucked up. And it's because I have no spiritual fucking protection. No spiritual backing. And that's a whole motherfucking shame. And getting stuck in hell realms, and I'm not even really a fucking bad person. You know, when back on the PCH, for instance, when I started Woken, and it was after I got into the occult side of spirituality, it was motherfuckers that did something to me. Stand them fucking beaners. It was somebody who did something to me. It was never anybody who didn't do something to me. You know, and sometimes I would get urges through the Alex Nacimiento entity at times to try to go after somebody. And I would try to avert that shit as much as possible. With that being said, you know, there's an order to things in your body. And I don't have that type of protection. And that's why when you see me do videos talking about this gonna spiritually happen, that, it's because it ain't that my shit is compromised. Shit ain't trying to work with me. And that's a motherfucking shame. And that's enough to make me want to fucking cry. Because that's just fucking evil. You know, even the fucking worst fucking rapists and serial killers have inner spiritual protection as well as outer to some fucking degree. You know, I don't fucking have that. I saw that with fucking Kanye West in the astral plane. His own fucking God and shit sold him out. It wasn't the fucking devil, it was God. You know, his connection to God. And totally fucked shit up for him. You know, that's why his mama, Donda, was telling him for years, don't fuck with them Kardashians. You know, I saw in the spirit plane, that's why she been wearing that sheet over her head. Fucking witches that will inundate you with entity attachments. I heard that they're using roach attachments, which is even 10 times fucking worse, to go after their enemies, supposed enemies, to steal from them and take from them and so forth and so on. And with that being said, you know, I'm trying to fucking figure this shit out so I can escape this shit, because I don't want to live the rest of my motherfucking life being fucking seemingly schizophrenic, but battling a fucking death curse that could take your fucking life, especially the minute you drink alcohol. The minute you're free, and be a fucking person, because one of the things they hold you to, it's supposed to be one of them wetbacks karma that they impose upon you, is the minute you give into alcohol urges, which they would induce in you through that Alex Nascimento entity, next thing you know, they go in and they fuck up your body. I just want to be fucking free. I want to be free to be me. I keep, getting hostility from some of them fucking entities from that timeline talking about that August 22nd, 2022 timeline talking about you ain't shallow enough, you ain't mature. Get the fuck out of here. It's like what I've been, talking about for years. How the demiurge, who's a jealous god, has an issue with you anytime you become spiritual and you evince stronger spiritual powers than what he has. I'm supposed to be the successor of Hecate and all that shit. And, it's the God of the Old Testament, the demiurge, Yodabel, who was created by Sophia. It's supposed to be that, the divine feminine. It runs deep with this fucking curse that I'm dealing with. So anyways, I'm going to show you Yodabel, the demiurge. He has the head of a lion and the body of a snake. Kind of reminds me of Quetzalcoatl. I believe Quetzalcoatl and all of them are in the same, as they're supposed to deal with something with consciousness. And from what I understand, roaches in the spirit plane control consciousness in the Unityverse. I feel shit poking at me, taking shit off my... I hate this fucking shit. This shit got a fucking end. With that being said, I'm going to use what's left of my third eye. Hopefully my fucking video don't distort again. Let me know if it does. To try to do a tarot reading, because I'm not going to let these people, but I'm realizing that it's a lot more than fucking that. I'm hoping that it's just a great fucking mind fuck, or there's not entities that's involved in it that's binding us to this fucking shit, man, because it's too fucking much. And like I said before, this shit goes all the way up to the fucking top, and I'm going to talk about it in the next video, because I got to get this shit out. So anyways, through my third eye, let's see what's going to happen. Today's date is the 29th, June the 29th, 2024. I see a crowd of people around you. It could be support from ancestors who are looking out for you and who are protecting you as much as possible and are trying to bring you to a promised land that will help you out ultimately. So what I'm seeing right now is, let me make sure that the video is still recording, a kind of like a fork in the road. A tumultuous fork in the road where you're going to have to make a major decision on which way you want to turn. So I see you coming upon a major stumbling block. And it's one where you could fuck yourself up and potentially you can come back from it, but it could be like a situation at work, but you have to make sure you know what you're doing. With that being said, with all this evil shit I got in me, man, I can't even fucking, this is a fucking shame. I can't even find solace or comfort in my own fucking thoughts. Zeus came to me in the Astral Plane years ago, like I was saying, acting like, oh, you got a large undertaking. Like, this is schizophrenia, man. Y'all supposed to keep this shit out. Going to war with somebody would be like fucking external fucking magicians But stuff that gets put into you, like roach attachment, y'all supposed to cast that shit out. When they first came, I wish I would have fucking used that frequency shit back then. I didn't know how to shut that shit out without, because they play with your mind. Oh, if you kick this out, you need it. It's a mind fucking. This shit set me up for the fucking path of just, because it's too much evil ass fucking shit. So I see you potentially going uphill, like you have an option. You can go downhill or you can go uphill. And I see you being smart and clever and avoiding something. So for the end, I'll just say this. I see things opening up for you potentially, but you got to work hard at it and you got to fucking maintain it. You know, I'm going to say something right now. I was looking at them posters right there, and they look a lot like fucking Elegwa's colors. You know, I was talking about how the Venus were planning on stealing our ancestral magic, and I keep seeing it as well. I saw a bunch of fucking Beaners under Baron Samedi, but not under him, but taking his power. That's what they do. They're very parasitic in the astral plane. They like to get next to you. Like in the past, I would see them come close and smile, and then I could feel something weird where I would feel drained, or their higher selves would come. I actually saw this and was shown by a spirit guide as well. When I wouldn't let one near me, I spit in her path, and spitting in somebody's path is a way of transferring a curse. Next thing I know, she went to the astral police to report me. I don't deal with them people. I don't have any love for them. That's why I'm a big fan of Trump, and I'm a big fan of these people here. Ice, cold, stay away. That's the spiritual meaning of this. Stay the fuck away. And when they come at you, it's no fucking joke. I spoke with a bunch of some people in the spirit plane, and they all agree that something not right with them. They come at you like fucking hellhounds. Something demonic, very, especially towards blacks, very bullying. They like to bully blacks. And they're big on that. And they like to get next to you, especially if you're, like I was told with that Santa Muerte shop. Let me show you the people. I was told that they don't see blacks, but they only let me in because of the EK connection as well as the ancestral money. And her higher self, the older one, the younger one with the blonde hair, was cavorting with her Santa Muerte as well as Santa Muerte herself. She's a Topa that, like them, is a parasite and has to attach to your higher self. Unlike in Oshun and Yemeya, Baron Samedi to have me, that motherfucker, her ass was cavorting about stealing both me and Baron Samedi's money, as well as cutting our heads off, I believe, and taking us out along with Mikey Hernandez and his Santa Muerte. Really a lot of the trouble's been coming from his Santa Muerte and his Huitzilopochtli and my Huitzilopochtli. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how he looks. being said, man, it's a long motherfucking story. My fucking audio started fucking up yesterday and everything else. Hopefully it don't do that today. It's a motherfucking shame. That's why my eyes be looking all sunken in, because I get astral fucking harvested. Really, really fucking bad. Astral body harvested. Alright. So in the challenge position, we got the Eight of Wands. And I feel like there's a major obstruction that's going to block you in your path from seeking happiness, from seeking whatever the hell it could be. This is some evil ass fucking shit. It's something that's going to block you from being able block you from getting where you need to be. This is fucking crazy. I'm being shown how bad the astral body harvesting is. I can't stand them fucking people. Keep them people as far away from me as possible based on what I spiritually know. I gotta play 6,000 hertz or something. I gotta clear this shit out, because this is evil. So it's gonna be something that's gonna block you from getting where you need to be. With that being said, it could be blocking you from accomplishing something. So anyways, in the present position, we got Temperance. And I feel like that's a warning more than anything to be very careful. And to watch yourself and make sure you don't do anything that's going to fuck you up. And is going to compromise you. Like how I've been compromised. Through astral body harvesting. So in the future position, we got the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups in this position represents, I feel that it represents, I keep feeling fucking invisible hands reach within me and moving shit around, and invisible hands. Okay, it's something that's going to block you from being able to get, not block you, but it's going to be, I'm feeling a long shot, but I feel like you're going to be working with quite potentially an enemy. Or it could be something that's being distanced from working with you, so that's going to be your future position. So with that being said, right here we got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords in that position represents, I feel that's what's in your subconscious. You're hoping that somebody greater than you who knows better could lead you and lead you to victory and help you out. So right here, under goals, we got the Nine of Wands. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of attacks and shit that's going to ultimately block you and obstruct you and fuck you up. But I'm feeling that it's nothing that you can't overcome. So with that being said, for the advice card, we got the Knight of Wands. And I feel that deals with seeking advice outside of yourself, seeking help from somebody that can really help you out and take care of you and look out for you and make sure that you're okay, that you're all right. But, I feel like, just be very careful and mindful of people's agendas. So for the energy that's all around you, judgment. And I feel that you're going to come across the test of sorts that's going to put you on a path to self-autonomy, self-rule, self-empowerment. You can sink or swim. With that being said, for that, this shit gotta fucking go. That's your fears and your hopes card. I'm just gonna say it like this. I feel that you're coming close to the finishing line. To a place of completion, which reminds me of 999. I remember seeing that number. I was always big into numerology for a minute, a long time ago. So with that being said, for the outcome, we got the Emperor. And the Emperor in that position represents I'll just go ahead and say this. Don't give your power to somebody else. Become your own power. Become your own power. So anyways, with that being said, if you want a more personalized reading, please contact me at ravenbyterror22@yahoo.com. This is fucking ridiculous. Peace. I kill these motherfuckers.